Hey y'all, it's V's back with a short little video on how to just some best practices for farming Mona. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about doing it. Some are faster than others, and when it comes to the end of the day, there's a lot of things you're gonna end up spending your currency on later down the road. Everything from upgrading your characters to upgrading your weapons, to upgrading your artifacts. There's just a lot that goes into when you're looking at some different options and considerations. The ways that I found work best for me doesn't necessarily mean that they are the best ways absolute, but it does mean that I found some efficient formats to kind of look at those things and address them. It's not a super big list. First and foremost, the one that's kind of the most direct way to farming your Mona is going to be by doing the ley lines. The yellow ley lines, what they do is they offer you adventure rank XP, Mona, and your companion XP as well. This is kind of a twofold win. You get the ability to level up your friendship level, which helps unlock some later achievements, as well as some additional voice lines and story modes. And then, of course, at World 5, you get 52,000 Mona per kill, and that's effectively 8 kills that you can do if you use all your resin on cooldown to unlock it. So you can get close to a million or half a million Mona by doing it on one resin reset. Now that's assuming you don't use any of your backup resin. If you decide to do that, I wouldn't really recommend to do it on that because you'd rather farm 5-star items or some higher level dungeons or something like that. As opposed to this, but if you were to do it and you absolutely had to get all the Mona possible that you could, this would be the fastest and most direct way. Usually, it's going to be 4 to 5, and then it circles back to the same spot, and then you can kind of rinse and repeat. Makes it super easy when you're looking at. Now the second thing um, that she would be looking at for doing your Mona farm would be doing the sigils. And what I mean by the sigils is by running around and exploring and doing chests. You can get these things called the Geo sigils and the Nemo sigils. Once you've unlocked all the items, you've bought all the stuff, the prototype weapons, as well as the jewels and the gems from the two people in Mondstadt and Liu. You can actually use these to buy Mona. Um, I think it's 1,600 per purchase, and it's 2 sigils per. So you can effectively buy out a lot of Mona. That would be a really fast way too. If you stockpiled them and you have nothing else to use them on, it's a good investment. You don't really lose anything by it, and at the end of the day, you can always save them for a rainy day if you want to be a little bit more conservative with your money when you're looking at those different options and considerations. And then, of course, this kind of helps tie into a lot of different stuff when you're farming. Just be persistent to make sure you're hitting every chest, hitting every barrel that you can, killing every monster. You'll get Mona that way. Obviously, that's going to be the slowest possible way to do it. But it gives you some opportunities to explore the world. You'll find sigils as well, which will kind of feed into that second option, as well as some other stuff. And you get ascension, weapon up items, etc., etc., etc. When it comes to it, and then last but not least, this one's a little bit less as far as growing a massive wealth, but just finding different stuff that you can and can't do. You can get these things down here. I might have turned them on already, but you can basically get artifacts. There's a ton of quests that allows you to get them and turn them into different vendors in Liu. And what they'll do is they'll pay you a variety of different Mona for them. There's one quest that gives you up to 200,000 Mona for one turn in, which is actually pretty decent. And gives you some kind of alternative ways to make the Mona if you don't want to do it. Um, and then, of course, the last and best way to make sure that you have the most amount of Mona that you need for your upgrades is just to be conservative on what you spend them on. One of the big mistakes I made early on was upgrading a lot of my characters' weapons and upgrading weapons that I was going to replace pretty quickly when it came to it. If you can avoid spending a whole bunch of excess on characters, either A, you're not going to use immediately, or B, that you're not going to use for a good amount of time, you're better off just focusing on 1 or 2 characters or your main party, and that's about it when it comes to it. Being fiscally responsible with it early on can help you get past a lot of kind of short stops when it comes to running out of consumables, running out of essences, materials to upgrade with, etc., etc., etc. But that's it. Those are just kind of my tips on farming gold. It's nothing super crazy or something inventive when it comes to it. Those practices have been worked best for me. I haven't had any issues or I haven't had any short stops of money. I know some people I've talked to have, so that's why I'm making this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, or maybe ways that you guys do your farm, go ahead, leave a comment below and let me know. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you like enough to follow, go ahead and subscribe. But until then, I'll be talking to you guys soon.
Run! It's gonna be a left click. It's gonna be a left click.